Alright, boys and girls, today's Tuesday the 13th of July 2021. SPY, another little interesting day today. Had a quick little sell-off here from some inflation scare in the pre-market right away at 5:30 mark. Maybe that was the opening of some other markets around the globe, but recovered in the morning session, then kind of dunked back under VWAP into the afternoon session, so closing right around where it wanted to dump to initially in the pre-market there. Looks a little toppy if you're looking at it at a 5-minute or just even this section chart here that we could see some more down moves, but of course everything looks toppy when we're at this point on the daily. No real short setup trades for me today. I tried to get up a little bit earlier because I felt I was missing some morning dump opportunities around the 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time frame that I could start profiting off of, and Tuesdays especially have been more the prolific days to capture some of those big movers. So I tried to get up, but nothing really piqued my interest. I saw some HEPA, had my eye on. The scanner was on full blast. I was ready for all of these. HEPA had some good news catalysts. Of course, it's another American biotech float of 67 million, which is kind of looking for not low float, not huge float, but something big enough to say that there's opportunity for bigger side on the downside. Oh, gosh, and it was tough for me that I didn't pull the trigger on this one, just because it was only a little beyond 10% when we started that VWAP crack entry signal, and I haven't really accounted for or seen charted any of these movers that dump below the previous close. So looking on the daily on this one, you know, there's a nice volume candle today. Obviously, we want that volume coming in. 15 million total today, $28 million volume that's equated to. Had a nice overhead resistance, of course, looking at this daily, but yet again, didn't pull the trigger on it because I don't expect these to dunk below that previous trading day close. But of course, this one did. The opportunity was there even way before market open, even at 5 o'clock. Here we're going from 2.3 right back down to 2.02. You're beyond 10% within 10 minutes. So pretty crazy one on that one. Frustrating to see, but we're going to miss them all. We're not going to catch them all. And then DOGZ, another applicable morning dumper. I had traded this one with the same morning dump pattern on the 10th of June for a loss, obviously cutting at the pre-market high day risk. So cut it in the market hours. Kind of tricksy. It started spiking closer to the market open, which can sometimes be a good or a bad thing, depending on how much volume there is bringing in or how much more liquidity is going to be brought in during the market open. But this one wasn't really a winner anyway on that day compared to what SPI did yesterday. How, yes, it did break my risk level, but it eventually did end up pulling back beyond 10% profit opportunity from that initial VWAP crack entry point. This one, DOGZ, similar news catalyst on that day of they had Costco's now going to be selling some of their products. Was released on June 10th for this run-up day, and today they're adding products to Home Depot. So similar news catalyst, didn't really trust it. Obviously pretty beautiful and pure red pullback. Of course, that's a pretty far away as well. Pullback beyond 10% risk level that I would have had to take using the same parameters on this one. But the 10% from that VWAP crack entry signal was there. No volume the rest of the day. This was only $3.3 million volume the whole day, so it's not really intriguing or enticing to see, but it's certainly right back on the path of where it used to be trading within an hour of the market open. It was right back of where it used to be and how it normally trades. So two long trades that I did take today. So total $5 loss, which is bleh, after like 2 or 3 trades in and out. Not huge size. The biggest size I took today was $400. So not risking huge on any of these when I don't have an applicable pattern to try and trade them on. CRTD actually was profitable on it. Tried to get shares to well, no. Had this one on the long watch. It's just the follow-up watch list because of the halts yesterday, the kind of craziness in the volatility, especially these halts in the morning session here. Thought we could do something similar today, especially with how these listed ones, when they start to run the first day, you obviously want to keep an eye on in the next upcoming days. Great volume day yesterday too, and not so much overhead resistance. This is a newer ticker, newer listing. Pretty nice pre-market, and it was just kind of randomly, as I was sitting there early in the morning, not really doing anything else. I was just tinkering around, seeing if there were shares available to short for all the different big percentage movers on the scanner. CRTD did not have shares to short, which was one of the only ones on the scanner that was that way. And it's a 7 million float ticker. Not that it's huge, but 7 million shares, if it's overweighted, there's not going to be shares to short. So that was my whole thesis for this trade, was, of course, position size followed that accordingly. That I wasn't that confident of it, but why not? We saw that with DBGI when I tried to get short that a few days back here, actually, as a short opportunity, was just checking in on it. No shares available to short around this time frame, and just spiked huge, even in the pre-market. So it's kind of trading similar on that thesis with CRTD. And it worked out well. I kind of looked out perfectly with my entry saw. It was quickly rebounced after that hard pull. Not insane volume, but still large volume for the pre-market if we're looking down here. Pulled back hard to VWAP, fell off a little bit, not as fast of a printing down, but then a little bit of consolidation, printing higher, moving. Got in at this point, just, yeah, again, on that trade thesis of somebody's either in this big looking to dump it hard at some point, or they're going to end up getting squeezed. And I knew if we were starting to hit some of these risk levels, or some of these technical levels, it could go to the moon. It could, and of course, no halts in the pre-market is obviously more enticing to see some rapid price action on that one. So kind of looked out, and I sold 20 shares. I had 50 shares initially from this position. Took off 20 shares at like 9.6, I think I was able to fill, which was pretty nice, just to take profits as they were there. I think 10% from, I was at 8.4, and then it was like 9.30 maybe. Is that 10%? So I was ready and willing. I knew that I didn't want to take off 10%, that first 10% profit, because of these technical levels, that I thought we could certainly surpass those and then have even more strength on beyond that, especially testing this 10.5 level. And I thought this consolidation looked great. VWAP bounce off of there, but ended up cracking VWAP in this pre-market, and that was kind of the nail in the coffin the rest of the day. I did check again, just for kicks, to see if there were shares available to short around this time frame, and wouldn't you know it, as we were getting to this level, there actually were shares to short. Of course, it was pretty high fee, something like 13 cents a share. But that was kind of the entry, not the entry signal, but the indicator of, okay, maybe that whatever was holding this down probably got out at this point and bought to cover in this move here. And now it's just, that was kind of proven today that it ended up fading when they were finally able to get out. Which kind of, I look back at this in hindsight and go, okay, I looked at the trade thesis initially of there weren't shares to short, so that was my long signal, and then I got to this point where there were shares to short. Why shouldn't that have been a short signal? Of course, it was just speculative to begin with, so I wasn't going to waste a short trade when I want to start continuing pounding these morning dump setups. But proven right here today that it did end up eventually having shares. Some shares showed up at some point, so that was the signal today when it did start cracking under VWAP and then reverse bounced. How it initially bounced here above VWAP and then reverse bounced once again back under, continued to dunk. That was the nail in the coffin for this one today. So interesting move on that one. BLIN, I just got plinked around this whole time on this one. I just frustrated the crap out of myself. I initially watched it for morning dump, thought we could get some type of quick pullback here to rising VWAP and dump, but it didn't. It was just a consolidating little mess. This was one of the higher pre-market. It was one of the larger pre-market percentage movers. I don't think it was one of the, I forget which one was trading the most amount of volume. But obviously up there, kept it on my watch, tried to play this as a speculative. This one again also had no shares to short. It's a 5 million float on this one, which did make a little bit more sense. So that was another trade thesis that I tried to play on this one as well too. Just kind of as I was checking all these randomly, I wasn't actually looking to get short. I was just kind of checking to see. That's a little bit of a good trade indicator. But these little scalps, I just screwed myself over this whole time of what I was trying to risk and how small I was actually risking in the whole scheme of this chart, and just taking these stupid little paper cuts. I thought I was buying a bottom here, and then it just literally broke out right underneath me, and then I was kind of panicking to get out with this small, like 50 shares. It's not like I was losing anything huge, but I was totally wimping out and panicking out at this point, and I got a bottom fill here like 8.3 after I tried to get an 8.5 fill. Just stupid. Then tried again. I thought, oh, we could still see a quick squeeze. I thought that this pull under VWAP, and as it was coming back closer to VWAP to market open, I thought that was going to be maybe the sign that there wasn't going to be a hard dump off, that this was the only amount of selling pressure that was going to be fully in effect, that we could get a short little squeeze here. Any type of these moves right away at the market open, that's really all I was looking for with this second trade that had a little bit better of a trade foundation, but just got demolished once again and eaten alive. And this is just back to my old days of when I tried to trade SPY in the first morning minutes of really just guessing. There's no understanding beforehand of what it's going to do within the first minute. You never really know, and that's what I found out today. And just took this small paper cut that ate into some of that, ate over that CRTD. Nice little move there. But frustrating, but just kind of pissed around the rest of the day again. We had CLNN, similar thing. I was actually looking at this one for another morning dump. Or no, initially I had this one on the watch list as a short for a first green day short. So taking away this candle, pretty nice volume candle, once again matching up to some of these other days. Not too long of a history on this chart, but you could call this a little bit of overhead resistance for the short today. But of course it was gapping up, nice uptrend with a rising VWAP, and got squeezed hard in this pre-market. So shoulda, coulda, woulda. Kind of looked at this one as a morning dump. That I didn't take it because I felt it wasn't really a true morning dump, that I want to see these with a news catalyst in the morning and spiking only in the morning, and attracting the overhead resistance of people who are just looking to sell into any spike versus people who are now motivated to buy it because it's rising from yesterday as well too, with the second green day momentum. But this one worked out today with the same. You could have carried the same entry signal, VWAP crack, pulled in your 10% within the market hours at any point, let the rest fade. That was another opportunity on this one. I don't think there was a large float on this one, which also gave me a little bit of a 19 million float, which isn't huge, but it's also not incredibly scary. No seen news catalyst for that run up yesterday, so maybe another sign that this one is a little bit manipulated. Also got, Zila. This was the move today that pretty much should have happened yesterday. It was how it was trending in the afternoon session. It was kind of, pittering around, showing a little bit of straight teasing in the morning session, but nothing true came of that. And it was like, just once again, that it wasn't going to die yesterday, and held well in the after hours. Pre-market kind of a little downtrend, but just up and up and up and up on this one today. Trade opportunity in the morning session, could have got out here. I know Mark Crook played this one well around this section and was selling into these pops here. I don't think anybody was expecting from a 4-2 move all the way to 5-4. just insane on this one. Float again is 35 million, 4% reported short interest. So this one is a mover. I remember this one from the past of trying to trade it around this big volume day. Could have plenty more room to continue going parabolic tomorrow. We'll continue to keep it on watch. Didn't close the greatest, of course, looking at it here. So I don't know how much strength it could have. Especially in these slower trading months, I don't think many shorts are going to, huge number of shorts are going to get it that it would be able to squeeze above that 5.4 level. But I'll keep it on watch the next few days, see if it wants to do anything crazy again. NSAV, OTC ticker. Matt Monaco watching this one hard from yesterday, had a good trade on it. Not my favorite, of course, again, because of just the, it's not like it's not trading big volume. Today it traded $7 million volume total. But today, again, the same thing of it's only 4,000 trades. So it's not like there was huge liquidity, and just even these doji candles aren't the most pleasing to my eyes of reasons to be so emphatic about getting in these OTCs, or take away my focus mainly from what I want to look for and be a sniper in trying to trade. But the trade was there for the overnight. Closed very strong yesterday, gapped up to 21. A little bit indecisive here within the first minutes, but opened well. And then I still had the chart up as I was watching it here, and I don't think I could have predicted or tried to even be in for this breakout move of 244, 245. Just absolutely ludicrous how fast it started moving after that point, when it really came from just moving so slow, especially from the day before. You could look at this little move here as a double bottom, play that little dip buy for a move here, held again for this VWAP hold. Great percentage moves, and yeah, another dip buy opportunity here. A little bit of fake outs along the way, which is interesting OTC chart. This is kind of the, if you want to expand this out and maybe look at it as a weekly, could consider this like a first green week with this volume coming in now. We'll see if it's got room to continue on. Again, same thing kind of as Zila. Didn't close the strongest, but could still hold and maintain for a few more days and then try another move up later. So we'll keep a watch on that. I doubt I would play it, but certainly continue to keep a watch on it if these OTCs once again start to pick up some steam and the plays start producing themselves over and over again. And I think that's all I got. I was looking at Carve for a first green day. Looking on the daily here. Nice pullback after this parabolic move. Looking for that first green day opportunity. I had to leave in the afternoon session today, so just kind of forgot about it after this hard pullback and didn't really see anything or pull it up again. But geez, just kind of ripped at this point here with growing volume. I think it was, this could have been a signal here of the growing volume, but I don't think anybody could have predicted this volume surge from that initial holding of whether this was shorts covering, long-term shorts over a daily time frame, or what. But that was a nice first green day opportunity there that I was aware of and prepared, yes, but wasn't really paying much attention to or watching that intently to try and trade. Other than that, that's all I got today. Good trading again, just keeping losses small, $5, whatever. Yeah, on to the next one. I'm not even really concerned if it's not a specific morning short setup, which I'm just devoting really 100% effort to now. The reason why I get up early to try and trade those hard and go after them as I can and focus on. I feel I do much better in just focusing on those one specific setups at a time and trying to master them versus looking at any chat room or looking at Twitter and seeing everybody else and how they're profiting and all these different things and just kind of going crazy that, oh, everybody else is making money except me, blah, blah, blah. They're doing all these other patterns except me. But I'm doing well. I mean, I'm still $300 to up on the month. This week, of course, we're down after the loser on SPI, down 140 on the week. But the trades are still there. It's not like these shorts haven't been working. I'm still ready like a sniper to attack when they do come. If they start slowing down, then I'll pivot with them. But I haven't lost hope yet at all on those. Still excited and ready in those early morning hours to wake up and find the shares to short, find the movers, get out and take my shares as they take my money as it's there. Certainly not discouraged and excited for the days yet to come, excited for the future as a trader. So we'll catch you guys on the next one.